That's a thumbnail. Greetings, creatures of Earth, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been a hot minute since I recorded anything, but such is life. So today we are tackling a little California issue here. Maybe some of you have noticed that gas prices have gone up. What's that about? And today I want to talk about that a little bit because there's a lot of misconceptions about why gas prices suddenly spiked in the last couple weeks. And a lot of people think that it's because of the proposition that was voted on last November during the 2018 election. And you'd be shocked to find out the truth about that. So the gas tax, what caused it? Was it just the prop that was not passed? Was it just crazy environmentalists that were trying to undermine the oil industry and get their way? Or was it just summer prices going up like they usually do? Well, most people I've talked to, and by talk to I mean seen on social media because I am antisocial, so that's about the most human interaction that I get. Most people think that it's because of the proposition that we voted on last November in California, and that was Prop 6. And basically what it was thought to do was increase taxes again on gas prices. That's incorrect. Actually, what it was meant to do was remove the already existing tax on gas prices. It was a tax to be tacked onto gas prices in order to go to fixing roads in California, which we need, by the way. Has anyone been driving around and like hit a giant frickin' pothole and been like, well, I hope that didn't damage my car? Because that is my daily life in California. So yeah, we kind of need a tax like that. Voting for Prop 6 this past election year would have revoked that. So it basically would have dropped gas prices, but voting no on it would have just kept gas prices the same, which is what happened. Californians actually decided that we needed the gas tax in order to fix our roads, and we kept it the same. It did not increase prices. It kept them the same. So what actually did make prices increase? Well, even our governor, Gavin Newsom, doesn't know. And he's actually announced an investigation recently to look into why these gas prices are going up. The same thing happened when Arnold Schwarzenegger was in office, what was that, 2008 or something? I don't know, I didn't pay attention to politics back then, I guess. But the same thing happened then, and no one could find the answer as to why the prices increased at that point either. The buzz around the political world, or at least in California, is that it was inappropriate industry practices, which basically means that the gas companies have... Sorry, my lighting is changing. The sun's going behind some clouds. Basically, it means that the gas companies have a monopoly, so they get to charge whatever they want for gasoline. And not necessarily a monopoly per se, because that means that one company holds all the rights to sell that one product, but it's very close to it. The oil industry has been known to do this kind of thing where they jack up prices just because they kind of can. And it sucks for us, which is maybe why we should look into some alternative energies. Maybe. Anyway, but it's also likely a supply and demand issue. As I said a few moments ago, gas prices usually go up for summer because people are traveling more. A lot of people take off work, kids are out of school, people go on family vacations, road trips, all that kind of stuff. So the supply of gas is still the same, but the demand increases. And that's just basic economics. Unpopular opinion though, I'm okay with the gas hike. Because honestly, that's going to force people to think a little more about how much they're driving, where they're driving, and maybe plan ahead a little bit, maybe not take so many trips into town or like across the state or whatever. And it really causes you to think about the emissions you're putting out. So let me read you a couple of quotes that I found in some articles that I was reading about this gas hike. So one of them comes from a man who has to drive across the LA basin every day for work, which you couldn't pay me enough to do, to be quite honest. But anyway, he says, I have to monetize and figure out how I need to drive when I'm making these long journeys. I fill up a lot. I'm going to be extra careful. I may not spend as much time just driving around, and I may pull to the side to handle business. Which, by the way, you should be pulling over to handle business anyway. There are laws against that explicitly. So, but again, he's thinking about his consumption, which is what environmentalism stems from. Another lady that I was reading about had to drive from Bakersfield to the coast every day for work, which is such a long and odious journey. Driving through the Central Valley, no thank you. I personally have had to do similar excursions myself. When I was growing up, I was actually sort of raised in Fresno for part of my life, and my mom lived here on the Central Coast, my dad lived in Fresno, so I would go back and forth every other weekend to visit the other parent. So I know how long that journey can be, and I also know that gas prices are usually cheaper in the Central Valley than they are here on the coast. So she said, I have to make sure of where I'm going, especially when I'm traveling in my car to go up north to Bakersfield or up to the coast. I have to make sure I get gas ahead of where I'd normally get it, so where the prices are a little bit better. So again, she's thinking ahead and being more economical. She's making sure to fill up where it's cheaper versus on the coast where it's more expensive. So with that being said, it actually makes sense. If gas prices go up, people are going to think more about their consumption. And hippies like me have said for years to hit them where it hurts, their pocketbook. So congratulations, you're now paying for your carbon emissions, which was the goal all along, so you're welcome. And honestly, I'm totally in the same boat. I filled up my car this morning. I didn't actually fill up even. I put $45 in and I got 3/4 of a tank, which is painful to think about. But it's not like I drive the most fuel efficient car, and I'll probably not have to fill up again until next week because I try to limit my driving. I try to be very careful if I'm going into town for some specific thing. I try to plan my chores around that, my errands and stuff. So if I'm going to the gym, I'll also go to the grocery store or whatever. But yeah, my county is actually the most expensive gas in California. Our average is $4.06, which I think is only a penny higher than I paid this morning for gas. And it's actually a lot lower than what I paid last week. So gas prices seem to be going down a little bit. This state actually has a record of $4.67 for gas prices. That's insane. But that was from October 2012. So we're not quite at our worst part yet. We still got a ways to go. And I remember when I was in high school, one of my environmental teachers told me that within my lifetime, gas prices would reach $10 a gallon. And that makes sense because supply and demand, again, our oil reserves are supposed to run out in the next 50 years. So it would make sense that prices will continue to increase until we basically run out of resources. Oh well. With all this being said, here are some tips to help you maybe conserve your gas and spare your pocketbook. The first one is kind of self-explanatory. Plan ahead. Think about where you're going. Are gas prices going to be expensive there? If so, fill up before you leave. Are they going to be cheaper there? Then maybe only fill up half a tank and then fill up when you get there. That's what I do every time I go visit my dad in the Central Valley. I'm like, I'm just going to put enough in my car to get me there, and then I'll fill up while I'm over there. Because it is a lot cheaper. Also, I've heard that driving the speed limit actually helps you conserve gas. I think I read for every 5 miles over 50 miles an hour takes about another gallon of gas out of your fuel economy, fuel efficiency. Words, I don't know. Try to carpool. Another self-explanatory one. If someone's going to a part of town that you're going to, offer them a ride or say, hey, can I catch a ride with you? And then take the bus home or whatever. I know it's hard for people that live somewhere where I do, where the buses don't run all the time, or the buses don't come anywhere near your house and you maybe have to walk along the highway. Don't do that. Be safe. But if you're able to, then find some kind of alternate transportation. Also, studies show that gas prices are cheaper on Mondays than they are over the weekend, and they slowly increase as the week goes on, with the peak days being Friday, Saturday, Sundays. So with that in mind, plan ahead. I filled up today because it's Monday, and I was actually shocked to find that it was a lot cheaper than last Wednesday when I filled up. And last but not least, just drive less. I know it's really hard, but it's not going to kill you. Ooh, the lighting got better again. The sun is doing whatever it wants to do. You can't be mad at the sun for being the sun. Anyway. But yeah, just drive less if you can. I know people commute daily across LA basins, across the state. That's insane to me. I apologize to all of you that have to do that, and I totally understand it because my parents both do it. But that's kind of the world we live in, and these gas prices are not going to go down, at least not to where we want them to be, ever again. I doubt that we'll ever see prices in California reach below $2. It's just not going to happen. So if you're hoping for that, you might be sitting there for a while. Don't hold your breath. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys this week. I'm surprised this video was only 15 minutes long before I've cut anything, and it'll probably be a lot shorter, which is awesome because I know my videos have been super long in the past, and I apologize for that. I hope this one felt a little bit more genuine. I felt like it did. But yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed this, if it was maybe helpful to you. Hit that subscribe button down below, become a hippie yourself, and maybe, I don't know, press that bell notification because I don't even know when I make videos. It's just gonna happen how it happens now. You're welcome. And until next time, remember, nothing ventured, nothing gained.